So what does being an LSU Tiger give that no other college can provide?
We're definitely different. We're like a fraternity, man. Once you go to LSU and play ball, and like once you get to the league, just the love that we have for each other is next to none. And when we play each other, it's just always love. We trade jerseys, and like in the off season, a lot of guys go back to LSU and work out, and we always together. So and around the league, we just show love to each other. So it's not many colleges like us. And then once we go back to LSU, I mean, those guys take good care of us. Like during the season, they send us gear, and it just seems like we're still playing there because those guys take extremely good care of us. And whenever we need anything, those guys are sending things and whatever we need. So if you play there, it's just a different brotherhood, and we keep that brotherhood when we go and be on different teams and get drafted too. So
during the recruitment process, when did you know that LSU was your future?
I committed early. I committed my junior year
right
of high
away.
school. So
you didn't even let it breathe, man.
I did.
You went straight
I did.
for it.
So they offered me a scholarship, and a month later I committed, and I was recruited to play receiver at LSU. A lot of people don't know that. So once I got there, they switched. They was like, "You're gonna play defensive back." I was like, I don't know. I mean, because I was getting recruited by TCU hard too, and that's when TCU was good and
right.
had the uniform. They were swagging out.
Yeah.
And my dad wanted me to go there because my dad lives in the Dallas area, so that was gonna be close by him. So and I was playing offense, and that was the time.
Oh, he was
TCU,
really trying to pull.
He was trying to get me to
there.
go there, but he was like, I mean, you can do what you want, but I was like, man, I can't pass up the opportunity to play for my home school, my home state school, and yeah, I mean, I think it played out pretty good.
What was that conversation like when coach sits you down and says, "Hey, I know you committed to us for 4 years to play receiver, but we think you can do some damage on the back end"?
You know what? It wasn't even a coach. It was like when you got there and you did everything, did your physical and stuff, it was like when they gave you your number, okay, I know what number I'm gonna get. I asked for it. Got there, I was number 16, which is pretty ugly number. On a
I wasn't gonna say.
I know, but
say.
it's cool. I done heard all the jokes.
Yeah.
I look like a holder. I look like a third screen quarterback with the number on. I done heard it all. So, but I kind of try to swag it out a little bit, do the best I could. But man, 16 was really a nasty number to have. But once they told me I was playing defensive back, man, I just had a positive attitude about it. I was like, man, I'm just trying to make it the best for what it's worth.
You do make the transition to the defensive backfield, and thank God that you did. I'd say it worked out for you pretty well.
Yeah, and then I wasn't gonna play in front of Odell and Jarvis anyway, so that was a quicker way to get on the field.
LSU, DBU, by all means. I know some other schools like to take a claim at it, but you guys clearly have the inside track. What is it that is producing these experienced guys on the defensive backfield?
Corey Raymond, our defensive back coach there. I mean, he's transitioning. He's changing lives, man. It's just the accountability factor that he factor in on a day-to-day basis. If you're gonna do it on the field, you got to do it in the classroom too. And he's a firm believer in just being thorough and just shooting you straight. And he holds guys accountable. And he played at LSU. He played defensive back there too. Better. So it's a different type of thing for him because it's really a pride thing for him. So and then the guys that come before us like Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu, Corey Webster, Chevis Jackson. Craig Stelz, just it goes on and on. I mean, and those guys, they don't care about anything else. When they come back or they checking in on us, they want to know how the defensive backs doing, how are the safeties, how are the corners doing, or y'all keeping that standard high like we set before you guys. So I mean, and that's something that we don't take lightly. And just being in the league now, that's something that when I go back, y'all boys better be on y'all stuff. The standard is already up here, so you got to have excel your game up here to meet that standard of being a defensive back at LSU. And I feel like those guys that's there now, they feel that love and they feel that responsibility of guys that came before them. So they don't let it drop off, and those guys do a great job of just continuing to get better and better. Speaking
of talking to those young guys, if you were sitting down now with a rookie preparing for the combine, preparing for the draft, going to be a cornerback, what advice would you give them? Because all-pro in your third year is unreal, man. Yeah. That's unheard of, especially as a DB. So what advice would you give an incoming rookie?
Just believe in yourself, man, and just know you're here for a reason. Never second guess your talent. If you have a rough game, a rough practice, don't never second guess yourself because you're there for a reason. And you're great, man. You just it's a confidence level. When you're playing defensive back, man, it's all about confidence and all about just honing in on your studies, because you can't slip at defensive back, man, because one play you can be exposed. So each and every play you got to be on your best, and you can't take a play off. So that's the most thing I take. I mean, I tell the incoming guy, just study, prepare well, your practice habits transition over to the game, and that's gonna give you the confidence to play at a high level.
It seems like the game of college football is changing, especially on an offensive standpoint. I can't tell you the last time I saw a running back out there, man. It's 5 wide,
wow.
no matter
Yeah.
who you are playing against. Is there anything different you would do in college right now if you were thrown back into college? Because the game looks different.
It's definitely now, I feel like, I probably have like 10 picks in a season. just knowing what I know now in the film study and the way that I study film and how that helped me excel my game to the next level. I think that if I was to go back to college now with the offense that they have, because offensive coordinators in college football know that young guys, young defensive backs in college football don't know how to watch film or don't know what they're looking at, so they can pretty much exploit those guys. But if I was to go back to college, I think I'll have a pretty good season.
Yeah. You've been in a handful of NFL stadiums now. Is there anything that can compare to Death Valley at night?
No, nothing. I tell people all the time, is no stadium that I've been in the NFL that can compare. There's no stadium that I played in college that can compare to it. I think that we have the best home game tradition, home game like impact, home game like crowd, home game loudness. Like, I think that we have the best stadium, and I think seeing a night game at LSU is on pretty much everybody's bucket list if they know college football.
It is.
Yeah, it's on yours too.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course.
Man, you got to get down. We play Alabama at home this year, so you might want to see it.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
that's good to know, man. I love it. When somebody takes you back to LSU, what's the first thing you're doing?
I'm probably going to the CAF, the 5. We call it the 5 student athletes. We have our own cafeteria, and man, that's a place where it's a sacred place where we can just go and just be ourselves. And the people that we have there, man, they're so amazing. The lunch ladies, they take great care of us. If I was to go back on campus now, it's all love. I can go in and eat and do everything that I used to do. So anytime I go back, man, that's the first place I would like to go, because we have some excellent meals there. You can get anything, from crawfish to crawfish etouffee to jambalaya to
on campus.
On campus, we get the best food. We get the best food, and it's cooked the right way too. So it's pretty good.
As a defensive back, like you said, so much of it is reactionary. You're watching film. You're doing all this. So when you're going to the combine, when you're meeting with these coaches, what did you do to prove that you were able to take that next step? Because so much of it is based off of what a receiver does.
The fact that I came back, that was something that I was selling myself on, just coming back and being able to hone in on my film study and hone in on just becoming a better, complete player, because I know athletically that coming out early, I could play it, but mentally I wanted to be prepared when I get to the next level, just on the field and off the field.
And it's hard to humble yourself and say, hey, I think I'm ready, but if I wait one more year, I can really be ready. That's a big step.
Yeah, and I mean, it was something that if I could do it all over again, I'd do it again. I mean, because I had the best time of my life when I was able to go back to school my senior year and not put no pressure on myself to make this play, make that play, because I'm trying to get worried about my draft stock. I didn't have no choice. I had to leave. I had no more eligibility left. So, I mean, I was able to sell the teams on that, man. It's like, man, if you get me, I'm gonna be the complete player, man, because I can do it mentally, and then physically I still got it too. So I'm gonna be a smart player out there.
This upcoming class for defensive backs is loaded with talent. I don't know how much college ball you watched this past season, but anybody stand out to you?
Oh, definitely the guy from Ohio State, Jeff Okudah.
Baller.
He's a baller, man. He has it. Like, he can play off coverage. He can press. He's extremely athletic too. So he stands out. Christian Fulton, my fellow LSU guy, he stands out too. The guy from Diggs from Alabama, he's really good. C.J. Henderson from Florida is really good. They had this corner from Stanford that I thought was gonna come out. He's really good, but he went back for his senior season. He's gonna be reaping havoc.
Right, that's gonna get ugly.
He was pretty good, and I thought he was a first-round talent too. So I mean, they got a lot of young guys that's coming to the league that now I gotta be on the lookout for, because they're gonna be coming in trying to take everything. So I gotta stay on my best game too. So that's what it's all about. When you see the young guys coming up, and then like guys like I just named Christian Fulton, Grant Delpit, he won the Thorpe for us this year. So I mean, guys like that, man, they keep me motivated, because I know those young guys are coming in and they're gonna be hungry too.
Now a lot of the guys you just named are some SEC guys. I know that you hate each other while you're playing, but clearly something about the SEC prepares defensive backs for the next level.
I mean, when I was in the SEC, I played against Amari Cooper. I played against guys like that. I played against Mike Evans. So it's just like, it's basically NFL before you get there. It's just, you're not there yet because of your age or your eligibility. So I think that playing in the SEC and just, you playing against the best of the best, and it's going to get you ready for the next level so the learning curve won't be so big once you get to the NFL.
When you look at a young DB, because you had a lot of success, this may be your first All-Pro year, but anybody who's been watching the NFL knew that this was bound to happen.
Yeah.
When you look at a young defensive back, what is that X factor that they have so that they can be successful right away?
Just being a smart player and not getting beat on the same thing so many times. Because in the NFL, if you're getting beat on something, the next team is gonna try to get you until you get it corrected. And if you're a mixed guy, of you can play press and you can play off and you can bail, you're not a one-trick pony. You got a lot of tricks in your toolbox. I think you're destined for success in this league, because if you just do one thing, it's gonna catch up with you because guys are too good. So you got to kind of mix it up. So I think that this year, just going to my third year and just being able to play off coverage and being able to stay square and then being able to bail at a high level and just know my tempo in it, and then being able to press at a high level too, that was something that led to my success this year, just being able to mix it up.
Alabama has Roll Tide, so if you're walking around Baton Rouge, what is somebody gonna say to where you know they know you and your career and they support LSU football?
They just gonna be like, Trey White DBU. I mean, they know, like, once you hit a DBU on the end of it, you already know, like, they know what's up. They know they football. So
it's that easy.
Yeah, for sure. And then if you're opposite team, you're Tiger Bait. So if you're walking around with a different team on, you're Tiger Bait, and they're just gonna come attack you and they just punt at you. So I think that the culture that we have in Baton Rouge is something that's next to none, and it's something that's really different. That when guys go down and visit, and I feel like that's how we get a lot of recruits. Just the tailgate and just the atmosphere that we have around. It's the football down there is just the number one thing. It's really sweet.
When you think back to your college days, what's the first memory that pops up?
My first conditioning test with Coach Tommy.
I thought you were gonna say a game versus Alabama or something. You're talking about conditioning test.
First conditioning test, man. It just shows you that the standard that is already here once you get there. That's why the college football game at LSU is just so good, because the standard is already here. It's up to you, or if you're gonna get there mentally and physically to meet that, to be able to be the best version of yourself on Saturday. So it's like the first week when you get there, you sign, and the next week you have a workout manual that the coach gonna send to you. You got to be doing these things, and once you get down there, if you're not doing those things, they're gonna know, because everything is getting you ready for that conditioning test. If you get down and you failed, and a lot of guys in my recruiting class, they failed that first day, and it wasn't pretty. So you got to run that test until you pass it. So there's a lot of guys that went like 3 or 4 times in the test, and it's tough, man.
So like we said, college football is changing a lot, and part of that is guys setting up old games, coaches going all over the place, meaning players are entering the transfer portal. Do you see it as selfish? Do you see it as guys doing what's best for them?
I think it's what's best. It's what's best for you. You play this game to pretty much, you want to play it at a high level too, and you want to be in a position to set your family up financially, to do some things that you wouldn't be able to do if you didn't do it at a high level. So to get yourself into the position to be able to do that, I'm all for it. I mean, guys transferring to get to a school where that better fits them, or to get them on the field. I mean, I feel like guys should have that freedom, because coaches leave all the time and go for better jobs. So
that's what I was gonna ask you. Yeah.
If you can be able to transfer and just set yourself apart and be able to get on the field and make plays and be able to put yourself in position to get drafted, I'm all for it. It doesn't matter, because I don't feel like you should be locked into something that a coach can get. I mean, they recruited you. We're gonna be here 4 years, and bam.
Just like that.
They go to get a pay raise. Okay, so you're playing in college football, and you're playing it to get a degree too, but you want to be drafted at the highest that you can get. So that's the same thing that the coaches are doing. So I feel like, the players should have that freedom too.
It seems kind of backwards. I'm 17, 18 years old, and I have to commit here for 4 years, but you just get to up and leave whenever you feel like it. It does seem weird that the players get the negative stigma.
But also too, if I'm not all for like a player like the first year, if he's there and he's not playing, he just want to transfer because he didn't win out. Yeah, that's
a little different.
Yeah, if a guy's just been sitting at a school for 2 and 3 years and they're not going to get the field, and the coach is not giving them the opportunity to prove themselves, then go try to get a fresh start. Yeah, but if you're just a freshman and you're not playing just because you're used to being a guy and you pounding about you just want to leave, then that's a total different
I'm
thing.
4-star this, I'm 5-star that. Why am I not playing?
Yeah, so yeah, that's a totally different thing. But if you've just been sitting somewhere for 2 and 3 years and you know you're not gonna get an opportunity, and the coach know he's not gonna give you an opportunity, that you're not in their future plans, then the coach should be able to like, just go ahead and just try to, you know what I mean? I want the best for you, so just go ahead and get a fresh start. So I'm all for that part of it.